top of the afternoon to you. I started coming to the park almost every single day because here is peaceful. Nobody messes with you, and you can just breathe in nature. You know what I mean? And that's good for the mind, body, and soul because it takes you away from everyday stress and everyday distractions. This is where I come to do a brainstorming. Some of you may have a special place in your mind or a special place that you like to go to sit back and reflect on life, your business, and whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's good to go to that happy place, that quiet place that you enjoy, to sit there and just be creative and try to think of problems that need solving. But today on M.A.W. Mondays, we have the contest rules. But before I go and tell you the rules, I need to have whoever is interested in the giveaway to comment below. I need at least 10 people before I even, because I just assume it's keep it, because I've fallen in love with it. But, I got other wagtails that I could, now that I know the direction I want to go, and I haven't quite finished what I wanted to do with the tool, but I'm going to let it go as is. By any means do I say it's the perfect window cleaning machine, but I got you started in the right place. Let's put it that way. You can fine tune it the way you want to do it, because after all, it is the most user-friendly tool for modding. Willie's made that easy for us. Now, I have that tool set to the way I clean. Whoever wins this might find it hard to close off at the bottom. The center part of the channel, you may notice you'll have to apply more pressure, but I'm used to that. If you're not used to that, you either gotta train yourself or it's not something that you can't adjust. Either the ends of the squeegee, which I don't know what the problem is, because it's not a problem for me, but it may be a problem for you. This is why I want to forewarn you. Adjustments could be made for that difficult closing out if you're not good with closing out, and that could be adjusted by moving the pads back a little further and just play around with them. But when you do that, you have to use two hands. Hold the Velcro strip that's attached to the channel down with one thumb, and then take your other thumb and slowly peel it off. Now, when I told you guys that this is machine washable and it's permanent adhesive, I meant just that. But the part that I messed up is that it's just what it says. It's washable up to 48 hours. So I didn't intend on washing it, but after 4 hours it's dry. But check this out. The very next day, I used the strips, right? And one of them didn't hold up. The one did. I don't know why, but the one did, and the other one didn't hold up. And then it just dawned on me. Okay, it said it's not washable up to 48 hours. We're not washing it, but think about it. When you're washing it, you have to use water, right? So that means it cannot come in contact with water. Even though we're not washing it, it can't come in contact with water until 48 hours. When I made that extra strip, it just so happens to be red. And it was sitting for like 2 or 3 days. So after the second day, the other one started to come apart. And I know, Jarvis, you said yours did, and you don't know if you put too much or not enough. But if you're going to do this, you cannot plan on doing it and using it right away the next day. You got to leave that thing sit for 2 days in order for this to even work. as it was meant to be. And then I assure you, it'll be the toughest gliding strip you come across. So I made a video previously in retrospect to the pad that comes up when you get them originally from Wagtail. All right, right here, I just wanted to show y'all that this glue works, and it ain't no joke, and it's into your best interest. Even if you're not worried about making gliding strips to your tools or your Wagtail, or maybe even converting to the Wagtail religion, you want to get that glue anyway. I'll tell you why. Because if you're even thinking about making your life easier with some changes and you need an adhesive, that's a very good adhesive, especially for material things. When it comes to metal, I'm not so sure. I have yet to try that, but I will keep you posted. I'm going to get to a few things first. Today's a multi-tip, all right? So, the glue that I used, I probably didn't let it dry. You know, I wet it before 48 hours, so it's coming up. So that's why I said you let this dry out completely and don't touch it for 48 hours. You can get that back down again. You can get it to stick again. I just like using this tool so much I didn't want to wait. But because I'm using this tool every single day now, I'm not going to have a chance for that to dry. I have other tools to use, but I got to tell you, this is such a treat to use, man. It's like effortless on that glass, man. It's like butter, man. I don't know how many times I can explain to y'all how easy this tool moves on the glass. I mean, it's like putting oil, Crisco oil, on the glass and taking this squeegee and try to clean that Crisco off the glass. That's how smooth and slick this is. And if you got my solution, that slick solution I use, man, man, that's like doing donuts in a big oil slick. That's how, man, shoot. I gotta tell you, it just gets my panties in a bunch every time I think about it. But yeah, this doesn't really matter if this starts coming apart, because I got my own strips. I'm actually gonna adopt Willie's idea and have them sew them right down the middle. Just because if Willie wasn't just thinking about that sew down the middle, keeping the pad from coming up, I'm doing it for another reason. Check this out, because mine ain't gonna come apart. But that sew down the center, if you look here, this little V shape just so happens to be right down the crease where he sewed down the center, so it can actually hold that V shape. And I don't know if that was another reason why he did it, in addition to holding the thing together so it don't come apart. But if you look here, it is perfectly symmetrical to that V-shaped channel when you stick this on a Velcro, which is on this part and not on this part. The Velcro is on that part. So you would have this kind of like standing up. And if you didn't have that crease down the middle, it wouldn't lay down. So that's pretty good. I like that, because it lays down on the channel so it can get close to that rubber. And that's like the length that you want to have it. And there is no problems closing off with this tool and worrying about leaving water behind, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I just wanted to say, in addition to having these pads, I'm going to give y'all another little nifty tip, all right? Because this tool is limited, but it doesn't have to be with a few changes. I told you that this could be used on not just on glass that's already been cleaned, but like every 2 weeks or even a monthly count, you could use this tool. But when you're on a job that has an extreme amount of fingerprints, you don't want to go agitating too much with this tool because you're not saving any time at that point. It's just best to go use another tool at that point. And this right here, you could use this, but it's not that big of an area. It doesn't cover enough ground because it's only 1 square inch. All right. So this is only good for a couple spots here and there and good for artillery fungus, which I used on a job the other day and it worked out fine. I didn't have to use a separate tool, put a razor on a pole or nothing like that. So I'm going to tell you another option that you could still use this as a 1-pass and gliding strips, and this is going to be a tougher way to get those fingerprints off without much going over back and forth. Maybe a couple times up and down, and that fingerprint is gone. I don't care how poor your solution is. My solution just happened to have acid in it, so the longer you let it sit on that windows, the more it dissolves those fingerprints. So when you come back over it, you might not need to scrub it hard at all. But let me just show you. In my previous videos, I invented the gliding strip. All right? The eraser gliding strip. I'm the first person to actually experiment with this on, traditional tools. I don't know who else is going to do it, but I think Travis said that he was going to do it to his. Now, this right here is without a doubt a very, very good gliding strip, and it is like the toughest gliding strip, equal to if you had a separate wand, what I mean by T-bar, with a mop cover. It puts it to shame when it comes to scrubbing. And because it's not even a big area, but because it's a magic eraser and you have to agitate back and forth, it's just like as if you had steel wool, bronze wool, white pad, a separate T-bar, and you were scrubbing the heck out of it. You actually get the fingerprints out faster with a tool like this than you would with a separate wand. And you don't have to take my word for it, because if you know anything about a magic eraser, it's not hard to see how this would be possible. All right, so if you adopt, yeah, you see what I've done. I got another mod coming up, so stay tuned. I'm going to try and have it done by Wednesday. This is going to be for those who don't want to spray. It's going to soak right into the pad itself. Johnny has done it, but he hasn't done it my way. He told me he did it, but I've actually done it to another squeegee like almost a year ago, but I didn't like the way it turned out. But I got an even better idea. But anyway, if you take that glue, this is why I say you want to keep that glue. If you take that glue and put the Velcro, put the glue on the Velcro and put the glue on the magic eraser and stick that to it for 2 days, you can have these gliding strips that you can pull on and off of your wagtail, and maybe just use that magic eraser for that job that you have fingerprints on it all the time. You could probably do that job maybe about 4 or 5 times if you're just using it for that job, and pull it off and then switch. If you're using Wagtail's original gliding strip, I suggest you don't pull it off, because it's going to start coming up. But if you follow my regimen and make M.A.W's cloned gliding strips, you can pull them on and off and pull these magic erasers on and off when you need it, or you just use it until it dies. But if you're not going to be making these on a regular, then I suggest you use that magic eraser gliding strip just for that job, so you can continue to use that great tool the way it was meant to be. But that's that. So until they start making magic eraser gliding strips for construction cleanup and tough jobs, I'm going to create my own. This will be the first channel you will ever see these magic eraser gliding strips. So if it does catch on, just know that my channel was the one that actually got it off the ground, because no one knows about this just yet. They use the magic eraser on Windows, but it's not in this way. And if you use it in this way, you'll be surprised that it works very well. In fact, it works out better because it's all in one tool. This is going to be the only tool you'll ever need to clean a window, the way if you mod it the M.A.W. way. By the time you see my tools, when they're done, everything that I have is going to be on there, with the exception of getting tape off the glass. Now, obviously, you're going to need a razor for that. But trust me, I'm working on a solution for that too. But this is Masters at Wagtail. And comment below if you want that tool, man. I'm going to actually... I was thinking of getting it airbrushed so the paint job can last longer. I'm going to repaint it, and then I'm going to put a clear coat on there so it can help protect the paint. And you can wax your tool. Excuse me. You can wax your tool whenever you want, just to bring that shine up if you like. But this is Masters at Wagtail. Macafrackalacka, peace, 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 and I'm out of here.